So it seems like Meghan Markle's back in the news again, and this time it's all about her charities and PR. As we know, the former actress frequently donates a lot of money to the needy and less fortunate, but recently, the increase in her photo ops has made people curious, and now they're wondering if all of this is just for PR. Stick around as we get to the bottom of this in today's video. First up, Meghan Markle recently donated 300 meals at Thanksgiving for homeless women. Thanksgiving is a wonderful time of the year. Not only do you get a chance to express your gratitude to your loved ones, but you also have an opportunity to extend that kindness to strangers who don't have a family to celebrate with. But thanks to many soup kitchens and kind philanthropists around the world, those people can enjoy a hearty warm meal and have one less gloomy day to think about. The Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, is a known philanthropist to those who know her. She never misses an opportunity to help the needy, and recently she donned a black baseball cap, her green jumper, and a face mask and gloves to help prepare a lunch at Downtown Women's Center in Los Angeles. Word on the street is that together with the Archwell Foundation team, Meghan helped prepare a Thanksgiving lunch for over 300 residents, and the photos are incredibly heartwarming to see. The photo of Meghan cutting a pumpkin for a pie was shared on the Archwell Foundation's website, and it was nice to see that the 41-year-old dedicated her time to the WDC this time around. Up next, here's why people are talking about the odd timing of the donation. Alright, we're not doing a complete 180 and coming after Meghan for this one, because we genuinely do think it's great that she does all this stuff and helps the less fortunate. But the fact that there are so many photo ops out there that highlight her activities seems odd to those watching from the outside. Sure, these photos aim to inspire others and follow suit and do the right thing, but the timing for the Thanksgiving one just seems a bit odd, don't you think? Here's a little backstory as to why people think that. So on the day Meghan posted the photo of her helping out the DWC, things at the Clarence house were super happening. King Charles was busy double checking that his chefs were only using foraged nettles leaves for his morning tisane, while Queen Camilla was welcoming the Queen Rania of Jordan and Crown Princess Mary of Denmark just before an elimination of violence against women and girls reception, which is an event that's part of the United Nations 16 Days of Activism against gender-based violence. Now here's where things get interesting. Photo ops of the King and Queen here make sense, considering this is an official event and was managed on a big scale too. But what's made people question Meghan's integrity is the fact that somehow there's always a camera around when the Duke and Duchess are doing unofficial charity work. We're not saying it's all for the PR, and it could just be a coincidence too. After all, both philanthropic ventures focused on victims of domestic violence. Coming up, let's go over some of Meghan's philanthropic activities over the years. As we mentioned earlier, the former actress has loved donating to social causes. Ever since she was a child, she volunteered to help other people, and that spirit of hers continued to bloom even into adulthood. The fact that she makes all these big donations and goes out of her way to help the less fortunate is not the issue that onlookers have made. It's the fact that these random acts of kindness are so well documented that none of it seems random now. Now obviously, if such stuff was never made public, no one would know what the couple's up to, and everyone would just assume that they're eating their wealth and doing nothing. And if you look at things that way, then it makes sense too, because there needs to be some sort of proof out there to show that they're not being irresponsible with their wealth. But then again, it's their money, and they're allowed to spend it in whatever way they like, so people shouldn't be too nosy about their finances either. Anyway, let's reel it back to the PR theory for a second. So back in March 2020, when the couple came to LA during the pandemic, they were photographed giving away meals for their project Angel Food. And then that same year, the couple also volunteered to hand out back-to-school supplies for underprivileged kids. Now, as per a royal biographer, the couple's allegedly really conscious about their image, so maybe getting photographed is their way of keeping appearances. Who knows? Moving on, now that Meghan and Harry are no longer royals, how exactly are they getting by? For someone who was literally born a prince and in line to be the future king, getting by is not the kind of stuff you expect to hear, nor from a former actress who had to step away from the glam and glitter at the height of her career. But now that they've bid farewell to their royal duties and stepped out of the chaos to relocate to California, it's understandable to wonder how they manage their expenses. After all, Cali's expensive and has some of the highest living costs in the world, and we know the Prince and Meghan can very well afford their way through life over there. But in between their handsome donations and now 2 kids, how exactly does the money flow in? Obviously, it's not our business, but we don't want curiosity to kill the cat now, do we? And if we've reeled you in successfully so far, keep watching to see just how the Duke and Duchess get by in good old sunny California. First up, the couple's got several business ventures. Meghan and Harry have pretty much been couple goals since day one, and the fact that they've even got several business ventures together just makes them the ultimate power couple, in our opinion. So we know that the Archwell Foundation is kind of like their main focus, but you'd be surprised to know that a lot of their money comes from their commercial ventures. Like for example, the Archwell production is their main gig. It's a company that stands by its motto to inform, elevate, and inspire, and has even partnered with the streaming giant Netflix documentary series. Not only that, but another project in the pipeline right now is another documentary called Heart of Invictus, a series of stories of athletes that will participate in the Invictus Games competition. Aside from that, the company also hosts and produces podcasts, particularly Archetypes, that aim to tell the stories of people who felt like typecasts. Their Spotify deal is also said to be around $25 million bucks. And as the board executive of the mental health firm BetterUp, Harry also earns his share, which is an undisclosed amount, but was rumored to be around $25 million a couple of years ago. What's more, Harry also got a handsome amount of pocket money as part of the royal family. Before Prince Harry had to leave behind the luxuries of his life as a royal, the couple received an annual income that was almost entirely funded by Charles III, Harry's father. While no one really knows how much money Charles gave his son, it's said that it was a couple of £1,000,000 a year, and after the couple walked out, the payments stopped completely. Not only were they getting their finances managed by the now king, but the couple also lost access to a lot of perks that are reserved exclusively for the members of the royal family. After their own little personal Brexit, the couple no longer had a security detail, but there's some chatter down the street that Harry can actually challenge that decision now and is awaiting an official ruling. Following up with Harry's inheritance money from the Queen Mother. When Princess Diana tragically passed away in 1997, her two sons, William and Harry, received the bulk of her fortune, which is said to be around £13 million or $15 million. In a candid conversation with Oprah Winfrey on her show, Harry opened up about how that amount was the sole reason he was able to move to the US, and that all he had left was what his mother had left him. In case you didn't know, before stepping down, the couple had to make a whole lot of repayments to the Crown estate, like the $1 million renovations on the Frogmore cottage the Queen had given him had to be repaid conditionally, as the Duke and Duchess stepped out of British soil. Aside from what his mother left him, Harry also inherited millions of dollars from his great-grandmother, the Queen Mother, but whether he received something from the late Queen is still not known. Not to mention, Meghan and Harry have even published books. In 2021, Markle published a children's book called The Bench, which was about a relationship between a father and a son from the mother's perspective. The book became a New York Times bestseller and raked in quite a handsome amount. And that's not all. Harry's autobiography, titled Spare, will be published soon too. The $35 million book deal will be paying the prince $17.5 million bucks before the book's release, and we gotta say, that's one heck of a payday. And last but not least, the duo just got a hefty paycheck from Netflix too. No doubt Harry and Meghan's docuseries was the most anticipated release of the year. After being hyped up for being a bombshell and offering a raw perspective of what it's like being associated with the royals behind the scenes, everyone was going to drop everything to watch it. We're also pretty sure Rick from our office even took a day off for it, but we'll let him have the benefit of the doubt. Now, as per several sources, Netflix paid the couple somewhere between $100 to $150 million for the series, as the couple signed a multi-year production deal with the streaming giant. It seems like they're doing pretty well for themselves. And with that, that's a wrap for today's video. What do you think about Meghan Markle's recent donation? Do you think there was an ulterior motive behind it? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.